I'm not, I'm not gonna go on Facebook Live for you guys. So introduce your first name and how you became doula. So how about that? And then we can go from there. I can go first since I'm the host. Well, I'm Suad. I became doula 5 years ago. I decided to become doula kind of accidentally. My sister Faiza kind of, hooked me up. She was like, hey, I know you work in the community and you're always supporting women and children. Why not try this career? And then I took my training at Open Arms, and I'm currently working Open Arms for the last 5 years as a community-based doula. That's how I became a doula. So who wants to go next? I can choose next to me. So next to me is Cheltu, and I can go that. Cheltu, you muted. Did I mute you or you muted?
Oh, I was muted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You were talking?
Yeah, I was talking.
Oh my God.
It's okay. So my name is Chaltu and I'm a doula trained under Global Prenatal Services, the first cohort. I'm excited through Faiza and Suad and I forget the other teacher, but we had amazing group of teachers who opened this door of learning more and being comfortable in this space. Although I feel like, I've been in that space of being a doula for a while, but as far as taking it on a professional level and having tremendous amount of education to thoroughly understand how to better serve the women in our community and women everywhere, felt more comfortable after the training with you guys. So yeah, I'm also a vaginal steam therapist, and yeah, I'm excited to be here today with you guys. I don't know if there was any questions that you asked along with introducing ourselves, but I'm distracted. We're outside with the kids too, so forgive me.
No problem. All the questions, I have them here. So I'm gonna popcorn you guys questions. So just the introduction is what I needed from you right now. No, you can be outside. I like that. Thank you. So Makeda is next.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Makita. I'm a master herbalist. I'm a doula. I started my doula training in 2010. My first doula training was right after I had my soon to be 11-year-old son. I've trained with Gracie, with Amina Ali from out of Atlanta. I've taken the Shafia Monroe training, and I've trained with Sister Midwife Productions, also Nicole Deggins from out of Louisiana. I'm a mother of 7, so becoming a doula was kind of second nature. But just like the sister that just spoke before me said, you feel more confident when you have the trainings behind you of midwives and people that have been doing it for years. And I'm thankful to be here.
Thank you, Makeda. Appreciate it. So next it's Taylor. Sister Taylor.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, basically, I always search for a Black midwife, and I could never find one until I found Faiza Parole in a news article, and so I was eager to meet her. This was 3 children ago. And she was hosting a training, and I ended up taking it, and it changed my life. It's been a joy to be a doula, and it's just kind of been natural. I've had, 8 children, and a lot of them have been home births. So it's just been a joy to help other women try to pursue that and holistic health. And just really support the community and teach women, you know, about birth and really the births that they really all want to have. So yeah, it's really was up to FISA and she brought me into DPS, and it's been a wonderful blessing for me. And so I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our final one is Sister Najma.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi guys, I'm Najma. I'm sorry, I kind of got off the internet was acting up. But I'm guessing we're introducing ourselves.
Yes, introducing yourself and why did you become doula, or how did you become a doula?
Actually, I was interested in doula when I first had my child, my first baby. I kind of had kind of traumatic experience where I felt like I wasn't heard, so I didn't want anyone else to go through that same experience. So my friend was a doula at that time, and she kind of was like, "Hey, why don't you become a doula? And you know, you're not working soon. You just had your baby. I know you're not gonna be working for a long time." So that's when I really decided. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look into it. I actually Googled a lot about doula and what they do, and then I had my second child, and then I requested it to have a doula at that moment, and I just fell in love with her work, and then I reached out to FISA. And I was trained, one of those, the first people that she trained. So it was awesome. Taylor and Chaltu, we were in the same class. What else? So yeah, that's why I fell in love with doula work. And it's something that I love doing, and also works with my time. Or I should say, like, I don't have to actually go to like 9 to 5 work, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly.
Thank you, Najma. I appreciate it. So today what I prepared for you guys is that I prepared a bunch of questions. I pre-write them, but I see a lot of audience on this call. If you have any questions, the audience, please raise your hand, or you can stop me and say, hey, I have a question, and you can ask the doulas. They will enter here to answer your question. And let me say it in Somali. Dad Somali tahay oo turjumaan aad u baahantiid inoo sheeg maxay yiraahdaan gabdhahani halkan maanta waxay u joogaan inay su'aalaha aad qabto ay ku jawaabaan. Kuligooda waa duula. Su'aalo badan aan sameeyey halkan aan ku shubay. Haddii aad macnaa hadhow aad fahmi weyso su'aalaha sayto na warso anaga kaaga jawaabayno. Haddii aad su'aal aad qabtane inoo sheeg anaga ku warsanayno ku turjumaanayno insha Allah. Haddana waxaan bilaabanaynaa su'aalaheeni ugu talagalnay gabdhaha oo duulaha ah. Mar walba haddaa rabtid inaad su'aal warsato waa iska hadli kartaa ama gacanta waad taagi kartaa insha Allah. Okay, ladies, we are going to start. So it's random questions. I'm just going to pick up, and either of you can answer the question. You don't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. Okay, first question is that, does Medicare cover doula services? Who wants to answer that question?
Yes, Medicaid does cover doula services as long as you're going through the certain organizations that can work with that Medicaid insurance.
Okay, good. I like that. Thank you, Chaltu. So, other one. How will I be matched with doula?
I think for GPS, what they do is that they see who's available to serve that, depending on the language, or basically whoever language, like let's say if there's Oromo, they would match with Oromo. If there's Somali, match with Somali. Whoever's available is what I'm under, and my impression is. And I believe with Swedish is what they do is basically, I think, your interview, I believe. I'm not sure because I have no idea. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. And I can speak for Open Arms since I work for them. It's the same thing as GPS. They do it based off your language. So if it's a client who speaks Somali, they match with Somali client. If it's a client for let's see, Amharic speaking, they match with Amharic speaking doula. If it's Spanish, they match with in a Spanish speaking doula. That's how it matches. So far, anybody have any more question, like a question other than what I'm asking? سؤال يا قبو أو محيد هانو أو سؤال قليتة أو أنا إهين وحا أنا هدا أن ورسدي. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. So let me see. What training or certificate do doulas have?
I can take that one.
Sure.
From my understanding, it is not necessary to certify as a doula in order to be a very personalized kind of doula. But there are several different types of certification processes. You can get certified as a birth doula or a postpartum doula or a full spectrum doula, which encompasses everything. There are different agencies such as Shafia Monroe and Global Perinatal Services that have different certification programs. I hope that answers.
I think that's perfect. Do anybody else have another answer? Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. So next question, do doulas have any special skills such as massage, hypnobirthing, hypnobirthing, sorry, and prenatal yoga, foreign language? When they say foreign language, it's like another language. It's like a second language.
Yeah, I believe every doula has her special, unique, special things that she does. You know, like for me, honestly, I haven't really truly discovered special something. But if I were to basically serve my community and I'm there, like let's say I'm serving a client and her husband's not there or family member's not there and she's giving birth, I probably would read Quran on the baby, or like, you know, the adhan, you know, so I'll probably be specialized at that because the majority of doulas that are not non-Muslim couldn't have done that. And also, and I believe Chaltu, you do the steaming, and that's special for her. So yeah, every doula has her own special, unique thing that she does, depending on like how she massages, or yeah, basically whatever you just mentioned, Suad. So yeah, that would say every doula has her own thing that she has. Even with the capsule in what is it called? The placenta encapsulation. What is it called?
Placenta encapsulation.
Encapsulation, yes, placenta encapsulation, and that's something special too. So not everybody can do that as well.
I see.
Yeah, doulas come from all walks of life. There's like midwives who are doulas, massage therapists who are doulas. There's doulas you'll find amongst many people who have that doula certification to be able to support that mother.
I like that. And I know some of you are herbalists, you know, you also have a special experience and, you know, to help the mother out, you know, to help, you know, during her pregnancy and also during childbirth and also postpartum, that too. So that's a plus. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's see. What is doula birth philosophy? What is a doula's birth philosophy? Anybody?
Doula birth philosophy, honestly, is like what you believe in terms of like your work, how
Yeah.
you want to serve the person, what's your core belief, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically Doula's philosophy. For me is honestly just making it a smooth birth as much as I can. You know, just making sure that I'm advocating for this person, and reiterating all the things that she wants. So yeah, this is basically what I believe and what I want to accomplish for this individual.
Yeah,
If
as
you want to
a
add something else, go ahead.
Go ahead. So لما يسمع أنت.
Oh no, I'm finished. I said if someone else want to add something, go ahead.
Okay.
a doula birth philosophy is that as a doula, we believe the way you birth is your choice. So as
Mhm.
long as you've been heard, informed, you have understood the choices that you made without someone taking control over your decision and choices. Basically to amplify the voice of the mother. We don't make any decision for the mother makes the decision, but we provide her with all the resources and tools that she needs to understand the decision she has made.
Absolutely.
I like that. So basically the mother, it's the drive of her decision. You are just there basically to support and to kind of guidance for her, whatever she decides, not to make
Yeah.
a decision for her. Because a lot of people, they think that doula are the one who decide for the mother in her well-being.
No, just be her advocate. That's pretty much it on everything she wants. Because there's going to be a moment where she probably won't speak as much as she could, and you're just there to guide what she wants and to make that happen for her.
Like that.
And it could be a C-section if she wanted. It could be a natural birth, whatever choice that she wanted, whatever birth vision she had, we just support that to come alive.
MashaAllah. So when a mom, let's say, is been told and, you are going to have a C-section because, in the community that we live, especially as African-American communities, in Latinx and, Black and Brown communities, we know, statistics, it's been said or taught that, the rate of child mortality is higher than, other ethnicity. And also the rate of C-section is higher than other ethnicity. How, as a doula, have you been, supporting this in our communities, or, I don't want to say preventing, but kind of, advocating on behalf of the mother, to kind of close that gap? I mean, I know I've been putting my fight out there, guys, as a doula,
Yeah.
Making sure those moms are not being, unnecessarily,
Treated.
yes, because some things are preventable, without us making decision for them. It goes back to that, that not making decision for them, but also advocating for them, also helping them out, guiding them, that, because when they ask you a question, you have to be honest with them, and that's why you're there. How did that impact you guys?
I think preparation with the client, the mother, is very important to let them know the space in which she is giving birth and how it's important to actually take birth education courses or different resources within the community that can help her understand that what is going on and what could possibly, not to put fear, because that's what we want to prevent. We don't want to put more fear in her heart, but to help her have more awareness and more information and all the tools that she needs so that she can be strong and healthy and enough to make those choices, the right choices during labor.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
I also think it's important to help build the confidence of the mother so that when situations appear and, you know, different suggestions are made, you know, she can, or the birthing person, excuse me, can make their decisions calmly and, you know, and feel confident in what they're doing and kind of do my best to help eliminate the fear.
Mhm.
To let her know her intuition is actually more accurate, you know, and to not fear questioning and what is it, the word brain, to question every, you know, to be able to have that resource to understand she can question. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't, you know, take away the right and the respect of all the birth support team that she has, that
Mhm.
it's her birth, you know, it's her experience that she will have forever, and she can hire the team.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Just for her to have that support, it means a lot, you know, for you to be there. I think that will give her a power just to have that, you know, you've been there alone, you know. That's what I think. And that's what I have been experiencing as a doula. Yeah. Okay. How do doulas support the laboring mom before, during, and after birth? How do doulas support the laboring mom before, during, and after? Oh, this is going to be interesting answer. Yeah.
I can answer this.
All right, Taylor.
Before birth is really getting to know each other and setting up a birth plan or a birth that they would, you know, wish to have, and you know, really check in with her, make sure she has support at home, and if she doesn't, how can we fix that? You know, her diet, I try, you know, to see what she's, you know, what food she's eating. A lot of my clients have low iron and just really, you know, lack of knowledge on better health, and so I try to encourage you know, taking herbs and having smoothies, and try to have a raw diet or as clean of a diet as possible. And then during labor, just really being there in whatever way that she needs, whether it's being massaged or, you know, she wants, you know, her husband out of the room, or, you know, whatever she needs. I try to assist her in that and really advocate for whatever her comfort is, and not really put fear in the birth itself, because it's just, it's, you know, it's a natural way of life, and really women aren't aware of just how strong they are. And so, you know, a lot of times they are fearful and not sure what to expect. I have a lot of first time clients, and a lot of the things that they'll say, I'll be like, you know, whatever they say, I'm just gonna, you know, go with it. And I'm like, you know, I just try to educate them on, you know, their rights and what birth they can have, and who, you know, who could be there. You know, with COVID, it's a little bit more difficult, but you know, just really try to encourage their best birth possible, because it's like something that you remember your whole life. And then afterwards, really just try to be there for them and check in. I constantly are calling them or texting them pretty regularly after birth, you know, because postpartum is a real thing, and you know, postpartum depression and baby blues and all those things. So, you know, make sure that their breastfeeding is going good and how I can support them with that. And if I have to go and stop by and help her with that, I try to, and things like that. You know, make sure that she has enough rest and a good diet after birth and things like that. But I have lasting relationships with my clients, and so they always come back when they get pregnant again. And so we really, you know, hold close bonds, and you know, they become my sisters, and so I check in on a regular basis. So it's really it's an ongoing thing postpartum, you know, for years. You know, just really, you know, staying in touch and making sure they're okay, you know.
I'm glad you say that, Taylor, because I have a lot of moms who postpartum never stopped because, you know, they had babies, and after that, then they have another babies, and then they have another baby. So we just became like friends, you know, even though they had babies and they know how what to do, and how to do it, they still, call me and ask me all of these questions, not because they don't know, it's because, back home and back in the days, women used to have, this friendship about giving birth and being supporting one another. And I think whoever found doula knew that and just put a name to it. So it just became just a name, because this is how women used to support one another, and this is how it used to work for women for decades and millennials, and in it's just a name. When I look at a word doula, it's just a sisterhood, that just person put a name on it. Is that's about it. Yeah, I have a client who have like 3 babies and they still call me and ask me a question. That doesn't mean they don't know the answer. It's just how it is. That's how it is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's what this question is good. Is a doula a midwife?
No.
That's funny.
No,
No.
it's not.
It's so quick to say no.
Two different
So different.
births.
What's the difference between doula and midwife?
A midwife is a medical profession who will take care of all the medical advices, the visits in the hospitals, and will be delivering your baby. And a doula is a birth professional that will help you emotionally, informationally, mentally, support you, build preparation and awareness for the labor day, and advocate and be there for you during labor.
Yeah. Is that the doula is that cousin who just to be there for you, like good time and bad time and crazy times and everything and together, huh? That's what I call doula.
Yes.
Because you never live their life alone and they never leave you alone. It's just like you just the constant one, even they'll see you in the streets, you're like, hey, that's my doula. Yeah, even the baby, you become his aunt or her aunt, that's your aunt right there. You were there when she delivered you. It's like, hey. Yeah. So
Definitely hold long-term relationships.
yeah, I mean, you don't get to see a midwife a lot of times in the community, but you get to see a lot, doula, because she gets to see you a lot of times, especially those of us who are community-based doula, because you are in the child's life for 1 to 2 years. Some of us, the program there, the moms are in our 1 to 2 years, and that 1 to 2 years, you build this relationship, this wonderful relationship with the mom. And by the time the baby is 2-year-old and the baby actually knows you, and you know the baby, so next time baby's 3-4-year-old, and hey, you're the auntie, and baby sees you on the streets or on the mosque or on the markets. Yeah, so you're the aunt. Can a doula reveal my private medical information without my consent? Or
No.
Absolutely not.
to family and friends? That's actually
No.
no, so thank you.
We just cut you off. Sorry about that, but no way.
I know you guys are like,
Yeah.
no.
Absolutely not.
Yes, doulas don't reveal, it's same thing, we might not take the direct oath that doctors do, but it applies to us, the same. We don't reveal your information, even if your cousin knows that I am your doula. You tell her that, you're her doula, or she told you that, hey, Taylor is your doula, and she calls Taylor, or she sees a Taylor at the mosque and say, hey, how's my cousin been? Taylor cannot reveal to your cousin how was your birth, because that is confidential, number one, and that's against the HIPAA. So it's no. So I'm glad we understand that one, right? Why are doulas so important to communicate of color, refugee, and immigrants? Some of these questions, I didn't write it down, by the way, guys. It came from the community. Why are doulas so important for communities of color and refugees and immigrants?
For cultural appropriation,
Good.
language barrier, medical terminology barrier.
Yeah, medical
Um,
terminology barrier.
you can just the fear of being in this space because they don't know you and who you are and where you come from, and sometimes you fear speaking up as well because you're unaware of, you know, who they are too. You have no relationship, so some people are afraid to speak up, especially in that vulnerable stage.
Mhm,
With all the, you know, the different emotions that are going through the mother.
mhm. True.
Anyone else can add to it?
The bottom line of relatability. It's easy
Yes.
to be relaxed around someone that you can relate to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the other thing that's I think that's really important for us is that our community tends to agree whatever the doctor says, whether it's a good or not. And I've noticed that because with my people, we tend to say, yeah, you know, whatever you think is right, I'm okay with it, because they don't have a voice to say, you know, let me think about this and let me see if this is something that I want to do, you know. So I think it's really important to advocate for those people that don't understand what they're being told, and explain it to them. Hey, this is what the doctor is saying. Is that something you want to do? And kind of give them a guide on what are they saying, and explaining to them, like Chato said, you know, the language barrier is the one thing that's like that happens all the time, and they agree to something they have no idea about, you know.
Mhm. As you say, advocacy, yes. I mean, we all been into a hospital room where the nurse show up, bless her heart, and doesn't say anything to the client and just do whatever she does or she think is best for the client. Um, you know, I always wonder, you know, what if it was reversed? I mean, would you like somebody to come in your room and just to, you know, do everything you wanted to do? You just lay in there. Did they even think about this person is a human being, you know, that's lying in this bed? Um, and that's what always makes me mad and frustrated, is that, you know, this person, first of all, has, you know, life, dignity, and think about how you would want it to be treated if you were this person. Would you want it, you know, somebody just to do whatever you wanted to do to your body without explaining what is happening or what's going to happen to you if you were that person laying on that bed? So one of the things that I'm proud to, you know, be a doula is that, because even my clients, you know, they don't speak the language most of the time. I always ask, I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, what is that? You know, because we are her, we are her ears and her eyes, you know, and or we're like, hey, where is her interpreter? Aren't you gonna have an interpreter here? What is she signing? I mean, can you explain to her what is she signing? What is this paper? Is she signing? Did you explain to her what is this she's about to sign? And when now that they see a doula in the room, they're always like, oh, we're waiting for an interpreter. You know, I mean, some of them still, you know, try not to, you know, go by the rules, but having a doula, it helps always, you know, it helps the mom and also even the hospital, because they kind of help that gap, you know. I don't know if the hospital, hopefully hospital knows, some of the hospital know that having, and they knew, some of them, they appreciate it. They're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I have a doula, you know, this time with me, who's working with me, because we are all team and they see us as a team. You know, some of them do see us as a team, and some of them do, they do see us as like not team. I don't know why, but you know, we're not there to harm them. We're here to help them. Actually, we're here to help them, because sometimes, you know, when they cannot find the interpreter right away and it's emergency, you know, you're there and the interpreter cannot be found, and you're kind of helping out, you know, helping them out and helping your client out, and it kind of works out. But my point is that it just bothers me a lot when, you know, doctors or nurses just do things without the consent of the client. It just bothers me. It always do. Why do I need a doula? Ooh, I think I just answered that, but you guys can. Why do I need a doula? Yeah, I just give big lecture. Why do you need a doula? But you guys can answer it.
It's important to have a doula, I believe, because your birth experience will be a story that you'll never forget. It will be memorable. You will remember it forever. And having a doula will, as we mentioned, the support that they give is more than actually what people think. Bringing that calmness and peace during a time where it's chaotic and things are moving fast and all the unknowns. It's not only does the doula support the mother, but also the birthing partner when anxiousness rises and just all the confusion. And so even for myself, although I was a doula, when I gave birth, I still searched for a doula because you really can't doula yourself during that vulnerable stage. You still need assistance and to have a powerful birth experience, you know, that will transform you and feel empowered after delivering. I feel that support team is needed. That support person, that doula is, you know, will help you through that labor experience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just like that big sister, a big, you know, long lost cousin that you had that used to help you, support you back in the days. Doula. What does doula do and how it's different from midwife? Just answer that question.
Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah. I think we did that question. Yep. I was ahead of my time. Do I have to pay doula for a doula? It depends. Who wants to answer this question? Do I have to pay a doula?
I think that would depend on your situation and whatever arrangements you agree to with the doula. There are doulas that do pro bono services. There are doulas that get paid.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you can get paid, you know, but it's also about the support and being able to stand in the gap for that birthing person.
Yeah. There are doulas, you know, there are some organizations that that you can go if you qualify, you know, Medicaid. Is that what they call the card, Medicaid?
Yes.
Yeah, if
Medicare.
you Medicaid, is that Medicaid or Medicare?
Medicare.
Medicare, and you can, you know, those organizations that, you know, support. I think there's a 2 organization here in Washington State, actually 3 organizations, Washington State. One of them is GBS, one of them is Open Arms, and the other one it's just a newer one. What was it? It's a Pacific Islander something, just opened up, newer one too. That are nonprofit organizations. They do help support women who are low income, that who qualify Medicare. Yeah, and they don't have to pay any or any money. Yeah. Oh, my favorite. What is doula? What is doula?
A birth professional that helps you through your prenatal, you know, through your pregnancy. If you meet through your pregnancy a few times to help build preparation and awareness for your labor, and will be there during your labor until you give birth, as well as visit you a few times after your postpartum. That's in a short, you know, way of defining a doula, but the work that she does is more than that.
It's very broad. Yes.
Yeah, it's very broad.
Yeah. What is the differences between postpartum doula and birth doula?
Postpartum doula is basically someone who is dedicated to help you after you give birth only. and she's there to make sure that your physical and mental health is well, and also there to guide you with the baby questions like how the baby's sleeping, the breastfeeding support, and what you're eating. Like for a postpartum will come in if you wanted for her to prepare something that you nutritionist, something light fruit or something cut up. She's there to support you basically after you come home, and with every little little things that you have with a baby. For instance, if the mom wants to sleep, you will take care of the baby for her while she takes a nap. And my most important part that I love about postpartum doula is making sure that this mother does not have any signs of postpartum depression. And you basically talk to her and say, like, how are you feeling? How's it going? Because that's what I do with what I've done with my postpartum clients is like I will go into their house, and the first thing we'll talk about is their mental health. How's your mental health? How are you doing? How's your breastfeeding going? What do you need after that? Like, what at this moment do you need help with, like the baby? Do you need help with house stuff? Do you so yeah, basically you're there to support her and make sure that her mental health is well, as well as the baby. And doula work is like you're there to make sure that before she gives birth, to prepare for the birth, and to support her during birth, whichever. Basically, yeah. I hope I answered that correct.
Oh, you did, yeah, definitely. Basically, doula is something that we've been just talking about all along. And postpartum is basically somebody who's there after the birth, and does a little bit of light chores, and making sure mom is okay, and kind of help out mommy around the house, and support the mom and the baby after birth, basically. What if my doula and I are not a good match? Oh, yeah.
I always say that even with my clients, I always say, if you don't feel, that energy or that vibe, we're just not, if you feel in any way, shape or form, like you choose who you feel right with, you have to be fully 100% comfortable, no little bit of doubtfulness onto who you have in that birthing center. Everybody in that birthing room with you will, you are a reflection of each other in that space. So you want to be able to connect with them, and there's no hard feelings. Even if you said, nope, I want to have somebody else. True. It makes it easier for the doula because you have to be fully working together on one page, and yeah.
And transparent with her at the beginning, like if you don't feel like, you and I are a good match, because you can just tell me it's not a hard feeling, because everybody cannot be a good match. Sometimes people don't click.
Yeah.
And there are times that where doula, vice versa, where doula felt like, this person is not a good match for me. So I am going to have her work with somebody else. Maybe she's good match with Makeda or Najma or Taylor or Asia, or somebody else. Yeah, it happens. Is a doula same as home visitor?
Can you repeat that, please?
It's doula same as home visitor. Are doulas and home visitors the same?
Assuming you mean home visitors, like someone that, like, I'm not understanding that one.
Yeah. So home visitor, have you guys heard about home visitor program?
Is that the nurse ones that come into the house?
No, yeah. I think are they the people that come in to support the development of the child, the baby?
Yes.
Oh.
There's, when they say home visitor, it's a broad spectrum. There's the nurse home visitor, and then there's the other community home visitor. So there's home visitor for community home visitor and nurse home visitor. So
no, the answer to your question is they're not the same.
They're not the same. Either way, they're not the same, because home visitor is somebody who has nothing got to do with during birth.
Yeah.
Prenatal. They nothing got to do with prenatal, or during birth. Doula is somebody who has everything got to do with prenatal, during birth, and postnatal. So, yeah. Last question. How do I find doula? How did this happen? How do I find doula? I didn't make it. You guys, it just happens. And Asia also have a, oh, Asia her hand has out. What's up, Asia?
Yes, hi. This is just a follow-up to the last question about the home visiting.
Yes.
So some doulas, the community-based doulas are home visitors.
Yeah.
Like myself and Suad. So
Yeah.
we do both. Like we're home visitors. We are doulas that also do home visiting with our clients. So it's a different program. It's called the community-based doula.
Community-based doula. Yep, definitely. Yes. Yes, we do. That's the 2 and 1 year program. Yes. Thank you, Asia. Okay, let me see. Last question. How do I find doula?
Through the different organizations like Global Prenatal Services and Open Arms, also on doulamatch.com, I believe. And you can ask your local hospitals that you are attending. They can provide you extra resources as well.
And there are also private doulas, like I think Makeda are you accepting doulas right now?
Yes, I'm accepting clients. I'm a private doula.
Yes, Makeda is also a private doula who also accepts, she also accepts cash, right?
Sure do. Love cash.
Yes, love cash.
Hey.
Love cash. Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of private doulas, you know, online. We also have one today here too. So if you want it, there's Makeda Robinson. You can contact her through us and we'll give you her information. Yeah, so that's how you can contact doulas. Anybody have a question, ladies in the audience, for our panels today? سؤال يا قبو أو كجيرو قول كانيتو مانتا.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Fortune.
Hello, doulas. Amazing listening to you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming, Fortune. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. So I didn't want to interrupt earlier, so I wrote down a couple of questions that popped in my head.
Sure.
So the number one, you know me as a mental health nurse, I'm always asking about mental health.
Yes,
but I was just wondering, like, how doulas like inform your clients, and like if you're following up, what kind of discussions are you guys having about postpartum depression? And then second question would be like, I know like sometimes, you know, when you see someone in the delivery room and you're the nurse, it could be threatening. So like, how do you communicate it to the nurse that you're here to help and not just like, you know, as a threatening buddy? Hope that makes sense. But if you want me to clarify more, I could do that. But yes, those are the two questions that I have.
I think I can answer that, or someone else also can answer whenever I'm done. With mental health part, postpartum, because I recognize it, I've been through it, and so what I do with them, my last client, is just like see the signs of know the signs of like postpartum depression, and I would just ask a question: how do you feel? How is your mood? I'll ask her like serious question: how did you cry today? Did something bother you? Is your the house is okay? Like as far as like, you know, are you secure? Are you safe? And all that stuff. Ask her the questions that like I went through it in terms, and I have like a guide that to kind of give me and to signs of the questions to ask in terms of like if she's thinking like things are like not natural. Usually that's how I ask them, and just see the signs of like postpartum depression, and I'll just discuss to her, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Have you been getting sleep today? You seem like you're out of it, you're not there. So yeah, and then the other question was, how do you tell a nurse without like, you know, stepping on her toes, right? For instance, my last client, you know, it was kind of like a rough birth. And I remember she didn't want to be cut in any way possible. And I was like, you know, I was kind of like hesitant to tell her because she knows best more than I do, you know, the OBGYN knows way more than I do, obviously. So I kind of was like, hey, you know, I wanted to tell her, I was like, my client does not want to be cut. Is in any way possible, we can avoid that if it's safe, you know, and without making them feel like, you know, I'm stepping on their toes and like, you know, and I would just gently say, you know, this is her, I know her birth plan was like to just naturally get cut or the baby to cut her instead of, you know, you cutting her or anyone with scissor. So I kind of said that and she was like, yeah, I'll definitely avoid that. But if it's emergency and I will have to cut her, you know, I was like, okay, but you know, I just wanted to advocate what she wants. And I reiterated, and I also asked her, you know, this is what you want. And you can also say it to the nurses. Basically just tell them I'm on your side. If anything necessary that's like has to do with like safety reasons, go for it. But otherwise, you know, this is her birth plan and this is how the client wants to her birth to go. So yeah, it's basically telling them like, you know, I'm with you, I'm the same page as you, but I'm also advocating for my client, you know, as much as possible. Yeah, go ahead. I'm done.
Oh, that was it? That's the only question you have for Fortune?
Yeah, too, yeah.
It's always good to have you, Abayo. Fortune is one of our mental health nurse in the community. Also, we have Jamila. I think she's still here. Is she still here? I think she's not here. Yeah. My sister Jamila, she's also mental health counseling. She's also one of the community member who comes here every Saturday. So that's a good thing. Let me see who else have question. Halima, do you have a question, Abayo? Oh, عرفت إن أول ستيت محيرة هذان دولوينكا.
ما سعادة حبيبتي ما يا معنته ما يلقى سنة يوم وما سنتها.
Any question? مكوبر سؤال شيء أو محيرة هذان لبلبضة.
لبلبضة نفع والله هاي بالسعادة هذا لفتر كان ما أنت تبعان ما أنت أنسى ومركعين هدا يا الله عصر شوتو كنايا.
سبحان الله. Okay. عندك طفلة سامية.
too much.
Okay. So Halima here is pregnant, early pregnancy, I think 4 to 6 weeks. She's been nauseated a lot, spitting a lot. What can she do to help herself? You know, any home remedy, you guys?
Ginger is always very good for dealing with nausea.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to help settle the stomach. Other things that I would have to ask more questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to ask other questions about their symptoms and different things that they've eaten.
Okay.
To recommend other herbs. Pardon me.
Yeah, checking your vitamin B, magnesium, those things help. But there definitely would be more questions that would need to be asked before.
Yeah, and then the other thing I would say is like when it comes to like nausea, and I think like when we don't eat, it gets worse. So if you're not eating at all, you're more likely to get nauseated because your acid in your stomach tends to like, you know, mess with you. So I would say like if anyone who's eating, just if they cannot eat anything, I'll just say eat in small bits stuff to just it helps with nausea, and so you don't, you know.
I agree.
And inshallah you get through it as well. She said 4 weeks, so like by the between 13th and 15th week.
Yeah. And Halima
inshallah you get better.
And orta wax badan wana laga eega and sida vitamin B gaaga iyo vitamin C. Vitamin B, vitamin C. Do you guys say like vitamin B, vitamin C?
Magnesium and vitamin B complex.
Magnesium and vitamin B complex. Ma laga qaado horta dhiig adi?
ها با.
Wili ma ku soo noqday jawaabta?
ما ilmahay soo hadlay wali jawaab waxa imay soo sheegay.
So they did her first blood work, you know, the prenatal blood work. It hasn't come back yet. Technical waxay ku dhaheen waxa ku caawinayo in ginger ayaa ku caawinayso.
Inta meesha ma la shiidanaya ma shiidaya.
What is she supposed to do with the ginger?
You can take it several ways. You can take the fresh ginger root, slice it up, put it in a pot with some water, and boil it down to make a decoction where the ginger is extracted into the water and you can drink it as a tea.
Okay.
One way that I really like it is as a live tea without adding any heat into it. I'll put it into my blender with water and some honey or maple syrup and then strain it and drink it like that. It's a lot stronger and it has that bite to it. That's how I prefer it.
Okay. And gabadhan waxa waaye dadka oo waxa min daawaadka sameeya waaye. And macnaha waxay tiraahday waxaan jeclahay ay ku tiraahday adaartu sida shaah oo kale u karin kartaa. And geedkan waxaa fiican mataqaanaa inaad soo gadatid asigoo markin dhadhan kan markin oo yaala Safeway ama Costco yaala dhadhan markin oo fiican horta kan budaha ma fiicna gingerka kan dhadhan no ma soo aragtay horta adi Halimoy Halim ku jirtaa mise ku jirtaa ha Halim wala maqashaa saaxib I think she got cut off. But I just wanted to thank you ladies so much. I appreciate it. You're taking the time today and, you know, to come here to be with us. I appreciate it a lot. Somebody's hand is out. Let me see. Fortune, hands right. Fortune, go ahead, Abayo. You have your hands raised.
I do. This is from like personal experience. You know those nausea bracelets that you could buy from Amazon or Target, like the pressure thing?
Yeah.
It helped me out. So I don't know if it would help her out too. waxaa lagu gadaa Target-yaasha ama Amazon xataa ku order garaysan kartaa.
For real?
They're called like seasick wristband. Yeah. There's, you know, acupuncture or kala waaye, same appliances. And then you put it on your wrist and you press it on when you get nauseous and it helps.
Oh,
it works with the nerves. Yeah.
I will let her know. Oh, that's so sweet. I know I'm gonna let her know because that's one of my mom who actually had a baby and then came back. So I'll let her know.
Inshallah.
Well, I remember those days. Growing up, it's not easy, wallahi. That's not something that I wish for anybody.
Definitely.
Nope.
Keep herself hydrated though.
I told her to keep herself hydrated. Yes. Oh,
yeah. And eat something small. Like, you know, like I think with me, with the experience I've had, like the days that I've not eaten, it's the worst. Like I feel like I want to throw up all the time. So when I eat like in small pizzas, it helps me like not feel like so nauseated.
Yes, definitely. No, I agree. I totally agree. I will let her know that. Yeah. But, you know, like I said earlier, you know, no matter how many times I tell moms, you know, it's so, it keeps coming back, you know, they keep asking you the same thing, even though, you know, same, different pregnancy. It's amazing. But yeah. Yes. But I just wanted to say thank you. I don't want to keep you up, you guys. It's Saturday afternoon. I know you have things going on, just like I have a lot of things going on in the family and everything. I appreciate you guys taking the time to join me and, you know, to have answer all of these questions and, you know, being together. I always see, you know, doulas as a sisterhood kind of thing. And I hope, you know, peppermint tea or oil. I like that, Taylor. Thank you. I was also hoping like, you know, maybe in the near future where we can get together once a monthly, even though we're doing this doula cafe thing. I was hoping like after the pandemic where we can come together in person once a month, maybe write it down things that doulas do or don't or whatever, you know, something. I have a lot of ideas in my head, but I wanted to share it with you guys in person where we can have like a tea together, because when you have in person and when you have like Zoom is totally not the same. And I think you guys agree with me too. It's just not the same.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys had your shots, but I had my shot. So expect some kind of a text message from me next couple of weeks or so at the end of the month, because if our state goes into stage 4 and, you know, we open, I'm hoping you guys, we can just get together at least quarterly or something, you know, just to come together and just have some kind of doulas get together or whatever. And I
Actually, I
think,
would love that. I wanted to add earlier in the beginning, you said you wanted to do the steaming with chalk too, because I've been wanting to do that. I just had my baby, so.
oh, that one is actually earlier than you think. I just
Okay.
contacting Makeda and Cheltu and Sister Aisha together. And then let's make it that a party, you know, like a vagina steaming party /
Yeah, it include me in.
Oh, definitely. I will send out the invitation. Trust me, it's gonna be nice thing.
Yeah, we can have like where's child too? We can have a bone or something.
Yes, and maybe we can have it if I this office too, like over there, because it's open area. You know, the 2 small room we can use it. I don't know if you can
Yes,
have it.
can't wait, inshallah.
Actually, that's
We'll
weird.
have the
that chair.
buna and everything too.
You know what? Let's figure out a place that we can have it, because I wanted to be having a big place where, you know, cannot be. And I can also talk to Abai Sahara too, like see if we can have it at Somali community, because it's open and those chairs are huge, and then it's open space. Yeah,
Inshallah.
because yeah, that'd be great. And summer is coming and school is ending. Let's do it after maybe the 20th, after school ends, inshallah. I'll send out the invitation. I will do it like give you guys 2 dates, see which date did you guys choose, and then we go from there.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate it. I
Thank
have a
you.
small gift to give it to you guys. Faiza will send it out, those gifts for you. And for thanks just to come in today. It's a little appreciation. Yeah, I'll reach out to you, each one of you later tonight or tomorrow.
Everyone have a wonderful day. I really enjoyed spending this time with you all.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Have a good evening.